All right, cool. All right, okay. All right, cool. All right, is this showing up real quick? All right, cool. All right, so first of all, I just want to say, appreciate everybody coming on. Out of like everybody in that Telegram, like 40 people, only you guys showed up, which is really good because it shows that you guys are eager to learn and learn new information that can potentially help you guys out, especially in the credit space, because that's something that isn't taught in school and just in general, just something that's not implemented to us. And there's several reasons why. But I just want to say thank you guys for joining and taking some time out of your day to actually educate yourself because it's really something that's crucial. It's like literally the foundation of life. Because without credit, you basically have like don't have so many opportunities. Rather, if you have good credit and all that good stuff, then you can build yourself several opportunities for yourself, right? So basically, I'll just be going over just like the roadmap, the blueprint, and stuff like that, how I started, and then we'll have a Q&A session towards the end. So you guys can save your questions later, so we could just go through this information and all. And yeah, so let's just get started. So this is basically where I went from not having credit to now having access to over 100K in credit. That's personal and business, and being set for any future purchases that requires an excellent credit score. I got this achieved by the age of 21. Right now, I'm 22 years young. So, it's just like a big accomplishment for myself because, a lot of people, older people don't even have this kind of like access to capital and credit. So, just being able to acquire this at a super young age, it's just, it makes me feel good about myself that I know I did something for myself that it's actually helpful. There's more people joining in. Um, okay, all right, I believe that should be good. But yeah, so doing this at a young age, it's pretty good. But there's always not like there's not enough time, or I mean, there is time. There's like, how would I say it? What's the word that I'm looking for? But I forget what's the word, but basically there's no like right or wrong time to start building your credit, right? Especially if, even if you're older, go ahead and start building it because maybe, God forbid, later in the future, you're going to uh, be needing it, for any case scenario that might come up in the future, right? So the reasons why I started building my credit, it's number one, like I mentioned, it's the financial foundation of life because you're gonna go buy a car, they're gonna run your credit, they're gonna ask for credit, buy like a home or like some sort of like property, they're gonna ask for credit. Going out and looking for new apartment that you're gonna move into, they're gonna start running your credit, right? And things like that. Even like purchasing a phone is crazy. Like there's just several things that you need to have credit for, and if you don't have it, then you're basically paying a lot more. And especially certain
Right.
credit cards offer you protection. So if you have that, then you're basically like saving your ass from like paying extra. Right. And also another thing is prevent financial breakdowns. Like a cool story that I like to mention is about my friend. His cat actually was going through like some sort of like disorder. The cat has something,
I need
and he
some
had
of
to take it to
these.
the vet. And if it wasn't because he,
See that?
had a good credit and during that
Hold
time
on
got
to
a
this.
0%
Hold
offer,
on. That
his
one.
cat would have died. But
This one?
basically, he took it to the
Oh,
vet.
that
It
one?
was a little over
What's that?
2K
That's
and
wood too.
everything. And,
This
he
one?
covered the spend
This one.
just by,
Oh,
swiping
that's
that
not
card,
wood.
and he just paid it after.
Oh,
So, things like that can
they have
happen,
to be
God
like that,
forbid,
but in
family
wood. It's
member,
got like
even
there's
yourself.
four of
Or
those
what
that I
if
need.
like, there's an
Let
opportunity
me see that
that
one.
This
you
is
don't
wood.
have the capital
Four of
for,
those that
but
look
because
like
you have
This one?
credit and you have several like 0% offers, you could definitely liquidate that and put it to whatever business venture you're looking
Is
forward
what you
into,
want?
right? So, and also it's
Is that
uh,
what he got? Something like that?
everybody.
But this is different. This is like the small trips.
I need one of these. Yeah, this is what I need.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah. Another thing is that it's one of the many financial tools that isn't taught in school besides like taxes, building LLC, how to follow paperwork and all that stuff. This is like literally one of the tools that, at a young age, let's say, if our parents knew about this information, they could have really helped us, build our credit at a super young age to the point where I don't know how old you guys are, but like probably roughly in like your 20s to 30s, right? But by that time, we would have been like super set with having a good credit profile, right? So those are like the key reasons why I personally started building my credit. Right. And also personal credit is your foundation because it's literally what's going to help you start moving into like the higher leagues, which is applying for business credit cards. And also you'll have to think ahead and strategically because if you don't think ahead, you make the wrong moves, you can, hold yourself down for like a certain period of time where you're not able to acquire a specific credit product, or because maybe during that time, you were just adding spend, 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 you never paid off the card. Now you have like collections and your accounts are closed. Now you're looking forward to, go get that auto loan for the car that you're looking for. It's going to be a hassle for you to acquire, right? So yeah, so that's that. This is actually one of my accounts with Navy Federal. I have a 25K limit on that card. So it just shows like, it's just the limit itself. It's like actually showing that there's something that I know that can literally help you guys out. And just having higher limits and overall maintains your utilization level, which is pretty good, which, comes down to be, showing like good comparable credit as well. So when I started, basically I didn't know what I didn't know, and this is what's called the four levels of learning, and this is literally key when mastering any kind of skill. Doesn't matter what it is. Like if you're gonna start selling, or if you're gonna, I don't know, start like some sort of like food truck or whatever it is, you're literally gonna start from here, where it's called unconscious incompetence, and this is where you don't know that you don't know how to do something. In other words, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know the information that, let's say like before credit, you didn't even know credit exists until somebody brought the awareness to you that credit is an actual thing that, in the real world that we live in is something that we need, right? And then, at this point, I didn't know what I didn't know until someone brought, the idea or like brought it to my awareness that credit is something that's crucial. So then that's where it moved me over to being conscious incompetent, where you know that you don't know how to do something and it bothers you. So at this point, the only thing I knew is that credit is very important, especially when you're buying a home and a car. So I was like, okay, if it's really crucial to get those big purchases, and there's something else, there's something more that I don't know, but I'm eager to learn. So this is where you start seeking for help. You start asking questions. You start buying courses, mentorships. Looking for a mentor that um, already have the results that you want. So all you do is just literally follow through, right? So from then, I moved over to being conscious competent. This is where you know that you know how to do something, but it takes effort. So at this point, it's basically like, okay, I know the information, but when it comes down for me to like, let's say apply for a certain card or like helping someone else, I quite don't really know how to do. But that's why I need to ask my mentor, ask someone that I know that already did it. But because of the information that I've learned, I need to in order to become unconscious competence, which we'll go over, I need to keep repeating this information over and over again. How am I going to repeat this information? By applying it for myself, helping other people do the same, because the more reps you get in, the better you get, right? So once you get more reps in, right, when you get like experience, become like a master, quote unquote, this is where you move over to unconscious competence. This is where you know how to do something and it's second nature and you rock at it. So basically, this is something that with like with a blink of an eye. You don't even have to think about it. It's just literally programmed into yourself. It's like, think about it like this. At a young age, you didn't know how to tie your shoe, but when your parents taught you, okay, you put this through here, you make, a little knob, and then, you tie it around, right? Like the more reps you got in, right? Now by the age of, let's say you started learning how to do it at 5, now you're 20, you already know how to do it. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to like, okay, do I need to put this under this, or do I have to make the knob now or whatnot? You already know because it's already programmed because you got somebody brought it to your awareness. They tell you how to do it. You got the reps in, and throughout time you got better. So without like you even thinking, it becomes a habit, it's programmed to you. So this is literally the four levels of learning, and like I said, this is literally key when mastering any kind of set of skill. So another thing that I want to bring up too is ask questions and build connections. Because if you don't ask a question, maybe someone else had the same question that you did, but because you didn't ask, let's say the other person's shy, but because you didn't ask, none of you guys' questions have been answered. But if you ask the question, now you know the answer to that question, right? And also build connections, right? Always try to like go into networking groups or just network online and stuff like that. People that are in the same field or just literally in the same, I guess you could say, the same mindset, and just build connections because something that you know perhaps I don't know, and something that I know, perhaps you don't know, and vice versa, and other people as well, right? And then once you learn this information, when your questions have been answered, you build connections, you interact and exchange information, then apply the info. Don't just like, just keep it there, to know and not to do is not to know at all, right? So just apply the information to whatever it is that you're, going for, whatever you're achieving, right? So now we start moving into like how to start building your credit and where it starts, right? So we'll start from what's called data mining, which is also known as building relationship with banks via checking accounts. So this is either personal checking accounts, business checking accounts, saving accounts as well. That's also something that you could do. And the first bank that will be data mining, it's called Navy Federal Credit Union. Perhaps some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know. It's credit union. Credit union are like more of a friendlier bank, I guess you could say, because they're for the people, unlike the big institutions like Chase, Capital One, Wells Fargo, and stuff like that. They already have like their system down, so they don't really need to like, in a sense, perhaps build a relationship with you. It's not really necessary. But for like credit unions, they're right there for the people. They hold meetings and stuff like for the systems to run and all that stuff. So how to data mine with Navy Federal? There's two ways that you could do it. So you have by having a family member who served in the military. It doesn't matter what branch, could be Marines, Navy, or like the Army, whatever it is, as long as they served in some sort of branch in the military, and have them open a checking account, which I'll go over the steps on how to. And using their access code, they can help you open your checking account. So this works if you have a wife that served or a husband that served, or your dad or your mom or something like that. Now, if you don't have any family members who did not serve, there's something that's called a roommate play. And this is where basically you move in, like quote unquote, and your buddy who's actually in the military or have served in the military, have them add you using their access code. But, like I said, you move in with them. Now, this means that everything else on your credit profile, credit report has to match that address as well, because they will look into like the previous addresses that you moved. And then if they see, 123 Sesame Street, and your buddy's address is 456 Sesame Street, but the entire, like on the credit report, your entire life has been living on 1234, and all of a sudden you're living at 567 Sesame Street, it's not gonna make sense. So just make sure all your addresses align with that buddy's addresses. And then, once that's done, you can use their access code, but you have to move in with them, quote unquote. And this means that, your addresses have to be the same as your buddy, but you can change this after your address because who's going to stop you from moving out, right? Like maybe you might move out in a month, 2 months, never know, right? But you can always move out, you can always change, and from there you should be good. There's an actual thing when you go to the Navy Federal website, it's going to show like a roommate have served, and then it's going to guide you how to do it and all that stuff. So it's literally similar process, just going to be your roommate. And once you have the account open, right? You can do what's called a Navy Federal Pledge Loan Hack, which is an installment account, which is pretty cool. So I'll explain more about this and the other information as well. Basically, this is where you open a loan with Navy Federal using your own money. I recommend like a $2,000 that you could, do. If you could do more, that would be better. If you can't, try to like, do like a good amount, maybe 1,000 minimum. But try to put something, right? And this is will be considered as a security deposit for them to give you a secure loan and get the longest term, which is like 60 months. And they will create a secure savings secure loan account. And they will send the funds over to your checking account. And I have a visual for my visual learners so you guys can understand what I mean. And then you'll be paying about 99% of the loan 2 to 3 days later to show that you pay 99% off, and then they'll give you back the amount you paid, and you will still have a small amount that you owe to them, but this amount is not due to like the end of the term. It's not like, auto loan. Let's say for this month, instead of paying 1 month worth of whatever your monthly payment, you pay 3 months. That does not mean that your next month you don't have to pay. You still have to pay. So in this case, like you paid almost everything. All right, your next payment's not next month. It's towards the end of the term, so it would be 16 months. So let me see. I need to. Yeah, 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 definitely, bro. And so from this point on, every month will show on-time payments and and the installment account will be created, which is also gives a good credit mix because you want to have a mix of, installment accounts, which is like personal loans, auto loans, mortgages, credit cards, have a good mixture. Don't have just all in one thing, just, mix it around. So this would be a good installment account that will give that good credit mix. And there will be no payment till way later towards the end of your term. So that's pretty dope. Now, so basically, this is how it works. So you can either go to the bank or you can do this on phone. It's the same thing. It's just through the phone, they will ask you, your account info. You got to send, you're going to tell them your routing. It's called the account number. So they can pull out the funds and all that stuff. So in this case, let's say you go to the bank, right? You go to Navy Federal, you do 10K, right? You go to the teller, be like, hey, I'm looking to, open a savings secured loan and I have $10,000 that I would like to do. All right. They'll, you give it to them, they register in the system. Now they will give you the $10,000, but basically it's they giving it from their side. So you give 10, they'll give you 10, but they'll send this over to your checking account. Now you have the funds that they gave you, right? Because this is considered as your security deposit. They'll give you the savings security loan account already is created, and then 2 to 3 days later, with that same amount of money that they gave you, you paid 99%, which will basically come down to be $9,990, and this will go down to $10 remaining of that $10,000 loan that you initially started, right? And this reports 99% paid off. And out of those 60 months, because we'll do the longest term, 59 months out of those 60 months are already paid, and next payment isn't due towards the end of the term. So basically, you can go back or you could, do it on the app and all that stuff. And all you basically when you do that, you have a $10 balance. So you paid off 9,900 of the principal, which is the amount of money that you initially start, and then here they will release the deposit on your next payment date is due to the 60 months. Which is cool part about this is that all right, you paid 9,990, right? They'll release 9,990 of your own capital that you initially deposited over to you. So it's not like traditional like secured cards where you put your own money and you gotta wait like 6 to 8 months or even longer because it's like I've heard of like horror stories that they keep the funds for a long time, but usually it's like 6 to 8 months where they'll keep the funds and then they'll give it to you afterwards. But in this case, as basically the amount you pay is the amount they'll release to you. So in this case, you pay 9,990, they'll give you 9,990, and you have the $10 remaining, and this payment is not due within the next 60 months. You pay it and then boom, now you already have an installment account and you have 60 months worth of good payment history, and all you got to pay is like $10 and that's it. Like you get good credit mix, and it really shows like I said, if you can do like a higher amount, that would be good. But if not, it still shows like a good credit mix because you added an installment account. Right. Now, how to data mine with them is basically open a flagship checking account. And once you create that, you want to have your direct deposits on. So basically, if you have a job or something, have your employer send your checks over to this checking account specifically. And then you want to turn on, which is called the OOPS, which is the overdraft protection services after the 90 days of opening the account. And, go ahead and also open a savings account. Just put like whatever you guys can, like 100, 200, the more the better, build a relationship with them, and then run up the pledge loan hack to generate the installment account, which produce a good credit mix, which I mentioned earlier, right? And then also this builds an internal score with them. So I've seen like, other people's case where it's like their score is like trash, like it's like low 600s, but they still could get approved for like a 25K card or like a 15K card or even like a huge like amount on an auto loan. Why? Because they were able to establish a relationship with them correctly, and they added a good amount of capital, which also built an internal score with them. So even though like the report shows like a whole mess, but with them directly, they shows that the customer was able to like build a relationship with them, putting their like all their funds that they can in there, and they build that trust. It's like in any other relationship. How do you build a relationship? You got to build trust. So this is what we're basically doing, right? We're building trust. So you build an internal score and you get approved for a higher amount, and then you get good credit products, right? So another good two banks that I would say to data mine is with Chase and Amex. So on Chase, you can open a personal checking account. At the moment, I think they still have a 300 check-in bonus. So basically, if you have deposit over like $500 directly into the account, they'll give you $300 for doing so. and I think it's like within like 30 or 60 days. So I mean, if you have a job or like if you do your work and stuff like that, and you can somehow find a way to direct deposit to that account, then it's literally free money. And on Amex, you can get their what's called their high yield savings account. But by doing this, they won't let you acquire the check-in bonus on the business side, which is like 30K membership reward points, which is pretty valuable if you value it at 3 cents at minimum on their checking account. So if you guys want this, I wouldn't suggest you to get the high yield savings account. So what would be the best case scenario here would either be getting added as an authorized user. But the thing here with authorized user with Amex, they don't report the age. So let's say I have the account, open for like 20 years, right? And I add you to it, the 20 years is not going to show up to your credit report, just like the whatever the limit is or whatever other information, the good payment history is going to show, but the age is not going to show, unfortunately. But it's still a good way to build a relationship with Amex and data mine and build trust, right? And another thing that you could do is get added onto employee cards. So if a business owner that has, a relationship with Amex, have them add you to one of their employee cards. Just get your name, get yourself on the radar with Amex. So when it goes, or when you start, guys, when you guys start going over to, acquiring like credit cards with them or any other product with them, you're on the radar with them. All right. And you can also do with the Wells Fargo, open a checking account with Wells Fargo. They also have a 300 bank bonus, which is the same thing to Chase, just have a direct deposit within like that certain period of time and you get the 300 bucks. And the reason we do this is to establish a relationship with them because we're going to be acquiring the build card. Now, it's not really necessary, but I definitely would say because, you want to build trust, you want to build a relationship and Bill is underwritten by Wells Fargo. So that's something that's going to really come in handy. Now, how I started like back like I think this was when I was like 19 or 20, how I built on my credit. During this time, I got added as an authorized user, which will be touching a little like a bit on how it works and how you guys can do it. So basically, I got added as an authorized user by my uncle on two of his accounts, and one of his accounts added like 10 years of age with which was with Bank of America, and the limit during that time had 17,200 and he added me on as a Discover, which added like 5 years, and the Discover account during that time had 15,500, which is good age, good limits. I would say if you can find someone that has like 2 years or more, that would be better. Good payment history, anywhere from like 5,000 or more in credit limits would be best. So look for something that you guys could acquire if you need an authorized user. And basically, when you're looking for authorized user, I definitely would say look into like a family member that has good credit or a friend that has good credit, someone that's trustworthy that can get you added to an authorized user. And the reason we do this because it's usually free. They won't charge you anything. There's websites where you can actually access, but they're gonna charge you like an amount, and depending on the age and limit, it can go up there in price, like up like 1,000. Or there's some accounts that charge like 100, 200 bucks. But I'd rather have you guys look for somebody that actually is trustworthy and they don't screw you over in a sense because they can potentially screw you over. And basically, how it works is that I don't have my wallet with me right now, but basically, let's say I have my card, right? And I add you as an authorized user. All the information I have, meaning like the payment history, the age, the limit on that card, it's going to show up onto your credit report. It's going to show as authorized user, but that's going to show on to your query report, and that's also gonna give you like a little boost on your score too. Now, score is just something that isn't really like I would say like very important, although it will help right determine like where you at in the range. But what really matters is what how your credit report is structured, right? So definitely you want to have that structured properly. But this is how might see like people promoting like authorized users, trade lines that can boost your score. Basically, they're just adding people to their accounts and that gives you the boost. But essentially, you just want to have your own cards, your own accounts that are like done by you, like it has your name, like you went ahead and applied for that specific credit product. So this is something that I did for myself. That I started building my credit, and after the first month of being added as an authorized user, I applied for the Discover card, and unfortunately, I got denied because I went like I think I did like two, 3 times, and I got denied. So I was like, okay, F it, I'm gonna just go for the security card, and I just put 500 bucks, and that was like my limit because the amount of money you deposit into the account is the amount of money you can spend, and it's like a 6 month period. So they want to see, what kind of activity you do, if you can pay everything back or not. This is building trust with Discover. Now, during that time, I put in 500, and because that's how much I put. But before I graduated, which is after 6 months, so this would be before the 6 months, so like month five, I added more funds into the secured card. Now I had a 1,500 credit limit. Now that limit, it's my own money still during that time. And after I graduated, after those 6 months, graduated means basically where, you show like, your within those 6 months how you were able to manage your card and everything, like if you paid in full or not. Then they'll, after that time, they'll give you your money back, and then they'll give you whatever limit. Probably it might give you a little more or whatever amount you deposit. So in this case, when I did this, they actually gave me an 1,800 limit on that specific card, but I put 1,500 on like a month before. So this is something like a little cool trick that you guys can do. So like, you can put a little bit, and just before you graduate, on that card, add more funds. So on that month period, that last month, show your payment, you show your, spending activity that you normally would do, right? They'll give you your entire money back. Now they'll start you off with that high limit. Maybe it might be 1,500, or maybe it might give you, like in my case, a little bit more, which is pretty good because we want to start with high limits so we can maintain our utilization low. And during this time, within those 6 month period, I opened a checking account with Chase. And like I said, they have a check-in bonus to $300. They had like a 200 bonus during that time, but I opened a checking account, and also opened a checking account with Navy Federal via roommate play as well. And I also added two installment accounts, which was with Credit Strong and Lockbox. That's something we'll touch a little bit upon, but they basically, you pay. It's like a service. You pay them, and they'll report over to your credit report like on-time payments, which is pretty good. And Credit Strong is like something that's like really, really good, really good reviews and everything. I personally have both, and I have another one which I don't want to like bring that up, but these are literally like the two best. But mainly is this one. But we'll touch upon like the product and everything on that one too. So proceeding on how I kept building my credit after that month of opening with Chase and a federal checking account, I read up a sequence. Sequence is when you apply, two or more cards at the same time. And during this time, I ran up with the Chase, Navy Federal, and Amex. And Chase, I got approved for 8,400. I don't know if you guys can see it right here, the limit, but that's how much I got approved. And it was 0% APR. So meaning that during that time, I had that amount of money in credit that I didn't have to pay everything in full. I just literally pay the minimum. But after that time, after those 15 months, I have to literally pay everything. Otherwise, interest rates, literally just freaking drown me in that. But yeah, so that, and then I did Navy Federal, which they gave me 25,000, which is a huge approval. Like I did not see this coming. I thought I was gonna get approved for like 9K or 10K during that time, because that's what I got approved for Chase and stuff like that. But then when I saw Navy Federal, they gave me 25,000. I was like, shoot, okay, that's good. So that shows really good stuff for on my credit report. And on Amex, I went for the Blue Cash every day, which is on the 0% card during that time. I already had the idea of like using this capital to invest into like the kind of information that I know, start seeking for like different groups, mentorships, and like people that have the results that I want. Is just so about me like getting into that kind of circle, right? So, this is where my first three cards, along with the Discover card that I had. So that's literally what I did. And at this point, I had like 5 accounts, but I didn't know about bank rules. And this is why who do you listen to is crucial, because the person I was listening to, yeah, he had everything, but he did not know bank rules, which is like something that's very, very crucial. Because if you don't do it the right way, you're really gonna lock yourself out. And I'll explain why and how like you lock yourself out. But I learned this by coming across another mentorship, and at this point, I realized that knowing bank rules, this will really help me learn and how to apply for specific cards at what time. Meaning like when I should go for approval, and obviously I would say go for approval when everything on your credit report is good, but also when the if it has a sign-up bonus, make sure that the sign-up bonus is high, so it's like worth getting during getting that specific card. So yeah. So bank rules to master the game, there's a lot, but the major one is Chase, which is called the 524 rule, meaning you can't have more than 5 accounts open within the last 24 months, which is literally 2 years. So before maxing out, get at least the Chase Sapphire Preferred. It has like an annual fee of like $95. But you can really like look over like the benefits and the credits. I personally say would always I personally don't have it because I did not know what I didn't know about the bank rules, but I could definitely get it on the business side. And or you can get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then you can get either the Preferred, and then you can get the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited. So you have those three cards, and that's like a trifecta, and you can run that up. Other rules like yeah, Amex rules, if you apply for an Amex card on the personal side, then you'll get hit with one inquiry and everything else that you go and apply for. So any other American Express card that you go ahead and apply for is literally all soft pulls. You won't get hard inquiries, just only one time. And also Chase has you can do a credit limit increase on Chase every 90 days. So that's pretty good. And then on Amex, you could do a credit limit increase like three times the current limit. So let's say in that case I had 10K, right? 90 days pass by, I'll request 30K and they'll give it to me. So that's something that you could do. And then it's really crucial to know what banks pull from what credit bureau. And it's also like depending your location and state. So that plays a factor as well. And the only way to really bypass the Chase rule is via the Chase biz bankers or like the business relationship bankers in that branch, which are called the underwriters, because they're literally the ones that can really help you out, like bypass that rule. And, you have to submit an application, fill it out about your business, all that stuff. And yeah, you could literally, that's how you can bypass that and you can acquire like the similar products, but on the business side. So for the Chase Sapphire Preferred and Chase Sapphire Reserve, those are travel cards. And the other one would be the Ink Preferred, if I'm not mistaken, on the business side. So you'll have access to the travel portal so you can move points over, and that's where the fun starts. So yeah, so those are like some rules. Now going back to the score, right? Knowing your score is cool, but what is very important is how your credit report is structured. Because somebody can show that like for instance, my uncle, he has like a 790, 780 on average on his across three reports. But the thing is, he only has five accounts. And me, myself, I have 18 accounts and my score is around 750. So it's like, okay, he has a higher score, but the amount of accounts he has is very little compared to me. My score, I would say, is pretty average, but the amount of accounts that I have is 18 accounts. So if you put like, side to side, like who is more reliable, him or me? He probably has like around like 70K ish in limits. I have over 100K. Who's more reliable? So that's why, score is cool. Like someone said this, said something about like score is what gets you through the door, but your credit report gets you approved. So it's like is like more likely to get approved and who's more likely to get approved for a high limit, right? You want high limits. So that's something that I just want to bring up. And you usually have like two scores. You have Vantage Score, which can be found on Credit Karma. That is like BS. It's totally off. So people that are flexing their Credit Karma scores is no bueno. And the main one that really is crucial is the 508 score because this is something that can be viewed on Experian app, but this is what most lenders look at when it comes to like applying for credit cards as well. Now, a little quick gem here is that you got multiple FICO scores, so you got scores for your credit cards, your auto loans, mortgages, and the list goes on. I believe it's like over 30 FICO scores that you have, but you have multiple FICO scores. So yeah, so that's a little quick gem right there. Now, the ideal credit criteria that I would say, if you want to have like a blueprint to follow the requirements is this is where if you want to work up to have like a nice lean setup, nothing like going crazy like myself that have like 18 accounts, but maybe like a good three, five, six accounts for yourself that is quality accounts, not like some BS, is quality. This is what the criteria would look like. So you will have anywhere from 3 to 5 credit cards of your own, tier one banks, meaning banks like Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and having high limits. So anywhere like 5,000 or more would be great, right? And also have like about 2 to 4 installment accounts. So maybe you can run two pledge loan hacks with Navy Federal and that's it, or you could do a pledge loan and then Credit Strong. You already have those installment accounts right there, and then an average of 2 years of age. Now, this is something that you can add as an authorized user to help you boost the age. But overall, like if you start building your credit and all that stuff, time's gonna do its thing, and then by the time you know it, you already have like 10 years of age because time flies, right? But the good news, you're the pilot of your time, right? So another thing is that you want to have a low number of inquiries. So the inquiries is basically when you go ahead and apply for a certain credit product. Doesn't matter if you got approved or if you got declined. you get hit with an inquiry no matter what. So you want to keep that number pretty low, I would say under 3, right? And then you also want to maintain your utilization reporting under 10%. I know a lot of people talk about 30%. That's not good. And this is especially on the statement day. So I just want to, put this out here, and this is like a little another quick gem. So on the statement days, this is basically when they screenshot your account that day. So they screenshot your utilization of that account. So let's say today is the 10th, right? Today's the statement day, right? But everybody else way before that, I was a heavy spender. Let's say I have a 10K limit. I was a heavy spender. But before today, so meaning yesterday, I would have paid at least most of it. So when it comes to be the statement day today, it doesn't show that I've been like heavily spending the card. It just shows, okay, this person only spent $100. All right, cool, no problem. Like that's only like 1% of utilization or whatnot, or even less. So if you do that on a statement day, you pay everything before or most of it before your statement day. That you can keep your utilization under 10%. That would be great. So you can spend all you want, just make sure you be responsible with it. But when it comes to your statement date, before that, make sure you pay most of it. So it just reports as like a low utilization that time. And you also want to show utilization on the account because if you don't show utilization, banks will start seeing, okay, this person's not using the card. Why does he need a high limit? And usually they start cutting limits or even eventually start shutting down your accounts. So that's not good, right? So and obviously no negative items in your credit report, meaning no late payments, no collections, no charge-offs, no bankruptcies, like none of that. And if you do, you need to go through like credit repair and get that fixed. So yeah, so this is literally the ideal credit criteria that you want to follow through. And there's two types of cards that exist. Uh, the last two. Yeah, yeah, bro, same. And I mean, you could always remove inquiries too, so which is pretty dope, right? So now the two types of cards that exist, you have preset limit cards and the charge cards, which are no limit cards, quote unquote. So basically, the preset limit cards are the most common ones. So it's like when you go for a Chase card and it shows you, congratulations, you got approved for 5,000. That's the limit that you can spend. There's nothing else that you can spend. That's the limit they gave you. That's how much you spend. Now, your charge cards are like your Amex Gold, your Amex Platinum, Amex Gold Business, Amex Business Platinum, all that stuff. Those are the ones that have no limit. And I just dislike people that be posting, oh, this card doesn't have a limit. It has like infinite spend. But it's like that's not true. It actually has a limit. It's just like an internal thing because it always changes month to month depending on your spending activity. But don't let that fool you because you do have a limit. Just don't go crazy at it because they will see how much you spend and how much you stated on your income and how much you're paying in rent. Now, especially when it comes to business, they'll start seeing like, okay, how much are you quote unquote making a month or I mean a year, right? So if it doesn't align, then they're gonna put you through thin ice and they're gonna literally put you a freaking limit. And when they put a limit, then that's where you have like a red flag, like, okay, this person's a heavy spender. And now the way to get out of it is just, cut your spend a little bit, right? And let it do it 3 to 6 months or so, and they'll automatically remove that restriction that they have for you. But those are really the two types of cards that exist. Now, how are we going to start off by? And this is where we'll assume in this case scenario where you have access to getting in added as an authorized user through a friend, family, or someone that you know that's trustworthy. But in this case, you have no access to Navy Federal Credit without that. Like, there's literally no possible way, which there is ways. But if you need help, you guys can feel free and shoot me a DM. But yeah, so we could do that. So this is how we're gonna run it. You're gonna start with Chase. I preferably would say the Sapphire preferred, but you can do either the flex or the unlimited. But definitely say the preferred. You start off with literally $5,000 minimum. It's a good card as well. But you can always see, search it up and see if it aligns with your lifestyle too. You don't want to go crazy and not being able to use the card properly because this is a travel card and you're not like a traveler. Then it doesn't make sense to go for it, right? And then we also go and acquire for the Amex Gold, Apple Card, or Bill. I said or Bill because not necessarily you can get the Apple Card, but I would say why not? Because there's a hack that I'm gonna bring up to you guys that literally is just literally a freaking free card it's really good. So let me see. Okay. So basically, we'll begin with getting added as an authorized user. If you can get two, cool. If you can just get one, just make sure it's solid, then that's good. And we'll start opening Chase checking account, acquire the checking bonus. So we're going to start data mining with these banks. So, open a Chase checking account. Same thing with Wells Fargo, for Bill. Like I said, it's not really necessary, but build trust with that bank since Bill is underwritten by Wells Fargo, and this could help. And they have a checking bonus, so you build a relationship and you get free money. But they'll send you, I forgot what's the tax form. Well, it's tax form they'll send to you, but it's in quote unquote free money. And then you can open an installment account with Credit Strong. Now, when you go to the website, you can type in Credit Strong. You can acquire the CS Max product, which is preferably get the longer time frame with the highest amount. I think the highest amount is like 5,000, and the term is about like 30 months, if I'm not mistaken. And this is not needed, but if you can, it would be great. If you can get it added as an authorized user. Now, if you can get access with Navy Federal, you can open same process, open a checking savings account, and then run up the pledge loan hack, and you add the installment account right there. But do this if you haven't access to Navy Federal. Otherwise, I would go from here in this case. But this is how we're going to start. Now, moving forward, you let these accounts, 60 to 90 days pass by, right? You have checking accounts, all that stuff, already opened. Let these accounts report as well. So you let the authorized user report, you let the installments account report, so it can help you generate some sort of score for you, and so those accounts can report over to your profile, right? And then we'll start running up the pre-qualifying tools, which is soft pull. So you guys can do this, and if you can see like a good approval, then you can get it. Then you're gonna get hit with the hard inquiry. Now, if you don't see anything, then you don't lose anything because it's soft pull. You don't get hit with anything. Now you have Apple, the pre-qualified tool. You have Chase, and you have Amex as well, which can help you. Let's see. Uh, does being added as an authorized user affect the other person's credit? Oh, I forgot to mention. Good question, man. So yes and no. The reason I say yes is because, all right, I add you right as an authorized user to my account. I'll give you the card, but if you're not responsible and you just spend and never pay, you screw me over and you screw yourself over because we're both living on the same account, right? But here's a hack, and this is what you can, tell your friend or whoever you get added from. Is basically, let's say, you tell your dad like, hey dad, like, can you please add me as an authorized user? I literally don't need the card. Literally, the day it arrives, you can cut it up, throw it away, add yours. And don't even give it to me. All I need is just the account to report over to me. So basically, the day that it arrives, they could just cut it up, or they could just use it for themselves and add their own spend, like to show a little bit of spending activity. But they don't need to give you the card. You just literally need the account to report over to your profile. You want the age, the limit, good payment history, and all that stuff. So that's how like I did it for several of my friends that I was helping them build their score and all that stuff. So basically, they fill in their information, their name, personal information, right? And then when it came to like where do we send this card? Well, they obviously going to send it to me. Like, yeah, I trust my friends, but you just don't know, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna arrive to me, and I started adding my own spend, like whatever it is, go to groceries, buy it, and then I pay the card because I'm responsible. But it benefits my friend because his account is still in good standing because he's been added as an authorizer user under my account. So you could definitely do that. But I also hope that answer your questions. But yeah, so going back, you can run up these pre-qualified tools. And going back with the Apple, and this is the little hack that I said why Apple is a free card is because you can get the Apple card with no inquiry, right? So basically, if you have iPhone, basically you go to the Apple Wallet, the little plus sign on the top, or if you don't, you can just search it up on on the computer or whatever, and then apply and then look for apply for Apple Card on your browser, and then you create an account, right? And then you start by you know apply for the credit card, fill out, your personal information. Once you reach, it's going to ask you to put your income, put your income. What I like to do and what I like to say, add your household income. So if you live with your family still, add everybody's income, but just make sure that you have like, they ask for like paperwork, make sure you actually have like paperwork to actually prove it, right? And you can add that income right there. And then once you see like where it says agree to terms, let them review your credit report, and they'll do a soft pull. And when they do a soft pull, they'll give you an offer like this, like your Apple Card credit limit 5,500 shows everything. Now, if you like this, do not hit approve or accept the card. Excuse me. What you want to do is before all this, is open a TransUnion, create a TransUnion account with them so you can monitor your credit report. I'll definitely say have an account set up with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, so you can lock your or freeze your credit reports because there's a lot of scams going on. So in order to prevent that, you can do this. But in this case, once you're here, you want to freeze your TransUnion report first. And once this is frozen, you're on this page at the same time, you freeze this, and then you hit the accept offer, and it's going to go through, and you're not going to get hit with no inquiry, and it's literally your free card. And on top of that, you get approved for a nice limit. All right. There's a question. That's like myself. I would only want to be as an authorized user just to benefit from the limit. Yeah, bro. Like you definitely do that. I mean, I don't know who you can ask, but definitely do that. If your dad, like, hey, like I don't need the card. You could just literally use it, throw it, whatever the heck you want to do. I just need the information on that account to report over to me, and I'm good. So just literally, that's like literally like the best way to like start building your credit report. And I don't know if you've seen like several videos, but mostly on IG, there's like people saying, "Oh, what can you do for your kids?" Like literally, there's some institutions that allow you to add your kids at the age of 13, or if not younger, if I'm not mistaken. But I've seen the youngest was like 13 years old, and I forgot what institution that was from. But bro, you can literally do that, and that's what I'm thinking. Well, that's what I'm doing for my sisters too, as well. They're younger than me, so me adding them, my uncle adding them onto his accounts. Like by the time like they're ready to like run this like sequence stuff, like bro, they're gonna have a better profile than me. But hey, it's just like this is the kind of information that if you can help yourself, you can help everybody else, right? And at the end of the day, you put everybody in a good position. And I don't know about you, but I feel good about myself that I actually did something good for the family, right? Or for my friends, right? Because at the end of the day, I just want everybody in my circle winning, right? It just only makes sense. All right, so now moving forward, this is what I like to call the green light. This is where you see a 5K limit on the Apple Card. So like in this case, we see a 5,500 limit. That's a green light because that's 5K limit on Apple, or if you see more, even better. And this is a great sign because it shows that the other cards will go as far as giving us around the same kind of limit. And especially this is crucial because on the Chase app where I prefer, the minimum limit that will give you is 5,000. So if you see more, then it's automatic approval for Chase. And now they're already going to approve you, right? Now, if you don't want to chase Sapphire Preferred because of the annual fee, totally understandable. Everybody's lifestyle is different, right? But then you can go ahead and get one of the Freedom cards, either the Flex or the Unlimited. Now, if you don't see the 5,000 limit, just be patient. Let another, month, 2 or 3 months pass by, and check again with the pre-qualified tools like the what's it called, the Amex Apply with Confidence, Chase pre-qualify, or even the app. And just try again. Like it doesn't hurt. Just be patient. Just do the right things. You want to think ahead and think you just want to think ahead. And then quick gem is that you can get credit limit increases on Chase, which I mentioned. Also, I'll pull just call in just to make sure because usually they change this up. But as of right now, I can confirm that they do soft pulls, and you can do this every 90 days. It's pretty cool to do that. Now, moving forward, after getting approved for Chase, you can go for the Amex Gold card using their Apply with Confidence tool. Now, be aware of this because this is a charge card. This is the no limit card, but it does have a limit. And we'll go over the perks and benefits in a few, and I'll help you guys justify the annual fee. It's nothing crazy, but I'll help you guys on that. But basically, Amex will hit you with one inquiry, and the rest of Amex cards will not give you an inquiry as long as you apply for the personal side. Now, if you want to take a step further, you can remove the inquiry before the actual account reports over to your profile, and you can remove inquiries. But I don't see the need for that because you only get hit once, and every other shot that or every other application that you get, hit up with, you don't get hard inquiries or software. So for me, it doesn't make sense. But if you want to take it like another step, you can definitely do that. Then you can make sure to hit the spend because the offers on the bonus the sign-up bonus are really crucial because they're membership points, and membership points you can move them over to travel transfer partners, which you can move it over to specific airlines and hotels. And if you value your points at a certain cent per point, and if there's a bonus running around during that time, then you can save more points and have like the same experience when it comes to traveling, but only paying a fraction of the price. Like for this flight that I just flew in, it's only $11. I can't complain about that. So it's just things that you can do for yourself. Now, ways to hit your sign up bonus, because like Chase will offer you a sign up bonus, and sign up bonus is where you they'll give you a time frame. So let's say in this case, they'll give you 3 months. So if the moment you open the account, the next 3 months, if you're able to hit $5,000 or spend $5,000 in those 3 months, it's just an example, then they'll incentivize you by giving you 70,000 ultimate reward points from Chase or 90,000 points with American Express. When I did my sign up bonus, it was like 6 months. I had a 6 month time frame. I had to spend 6,000. I Within that time frame, I spent all that 6,000, and then I got 90,000 membership reward points. So that's pretty crucial. Right now, I'm sitting like around 325. Well, I used to have more, but I did a lot of traveling lately, so I have that amount. So if anything, I probably have a little over like I think like 10,000 worth in travel, I think. But yeah, so ways to hit your sign up bonus is you can use a card to pay for big purchases. So let's say you need a new laptop, right? Put it on the card that you just recently opened, or a camera, or TV, things that are big purchases, but you're able to pay because you want to be responsible. This is the whole reason why I'm showing this, because yes, you could do all this stuff, but I want you guys to be responsible too as well. Don't go crazy on this because you can literally dig yourself a hole. And offer to pay for dinner and have everyone send you the money. So you go out with friends, family. Offer to pay for the dinner, but have everybody send you the money. And when you go to dinner, especially when you use when you have the Amex Go card, you don't just help yourself hit the sign up bonus, but you're also accumulating points because you're dining in at the restaurant. So you accumulate points, which is very valuable. And then put most of your recurring bills on a card. So, Wi-Fi bill, phone bill, like I said, certain cards offer you like, cell phone protection. Amex Gold, I think it's Amex Gold that does it, the platinum on. I don't know, I just did that a long time ago. But say, God forbid, my phone gets stolen or it breaks, like I could just really file a report, just still review that as long as I put my phone bill on that card, they'll like literally reimburse the charges and all that stuff. And also add a trustworthy friend or family member to spend on that card and pay it, right? So let's say you have a sign up bonus and you trust your girlfriend to do her purchase and pay, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm not trusting that. But just have somebody that you trust and they either spend and they pay it back. So that's a really good way to do. Now, at this point, you usually have about two authorize your account. Now, if you don't have two, you can do one. No, no harm foul. So let's say you only have one or two authorize your accounts. You have Apple or Bill, but I definitely say have both because you can get the Apple card with no inquiry. So you'll have two accounts. So you have Bill, Apple. Authorized users doesn't count because it's not your account. It's whoever you ask for, but it's gonna show to your profile, but it's gonna be labeled as authorized user. So you have Apple, you have Bill, you have the Chase software preferred, which I definitely say get. But if you don't, I'm not pressuring you, but I'll definitely say it because you start off with a high limit. But you can get one of the Freedom cards and you have the Amex Gold card. So you already have four accounts. Now, for for whatever reason, if you can't get approved for a specific card, there's something called reconsideration line. So for wherever bank that you didn't get approved for let's say instance, you didn't get approved on Chase, and this happened to me. I didn't get rejected; it was just pending. Basically, all I did just look for the reconsideration line for Chase. So for any bank that you're looking for, the phone number, just type in the bank's name. So in this case, Chase reconsideration line, and they'll give you the phone number. You call in and be like, hey, just humanizing, like, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing good? Oh, that's great. I'm doing awesome. Well, look, I'm looking forward to seeing, if you can perhaps reconsider my application once more. I've seen that I got my application pending, and usually when it's pending, it's probably they need to do some verification, like a name or address or so. Or if you got rejected, there's some cases where if you say the right things, you can turn the denial to an approval, like things like, look, what was it saying? Like, I don't mind if you guys can just get approve me. I don't mind, starting with a small limit. I just want to build this relationship with you guys so I can later in the future, acquire an auto loan for my future car, or acquire some sort of like mortgage or whatever for my new home, or I have an upcoming wedding and I really, really want to build this relationship with you guys so I can use you guys to help me cover this or something like that. You just want to build trust and humanize the person on the other end of the line, right? So At this point, you will have you'll be 3 out of 5 on Chase because of the 524 rule. So you have the Apple, which doesn't count because you have no inquiry. You have Bill, which doesn't count because you get hit with the inquiry. You have the Sapphire Preferred, and you have Amex Gold. So you'll be 3 out of 5, and you have 2 slots open. So within that time frame, with that time, if you like to get more Chase cards, which I'll definitely say run the Preferred and the two unlimited cards, the Flex and the Freedom. You could definitely acquire the two unlimited cards. I'll just say after like 6 months, and then grab the other two before you lock yourself out. Because at that point, you would have to wait like 2 years to go for a Chase card, which I had to wait for if I want to go for the personal side, or you need to like go through a business relationship manager. You just have to submit the applications and all that stuff, and they'll get you approved. Now, here's literally the lineup of how like the accounts I would say to have. No, you'll have the Amex Express, the gold card. You get 4x on restaurants, food delivery, groceries, gas, 3x on airline book directly, which is pretty nice. 1x and everything. Now it does have an annual fee, but the annual fee outweighs the like I mean the food credit outweighs the annual fee. So the food credit is like 240, the annual fee is like 250. You get like I believe like $10 a month on Uber and then on Grubhub every month. So if you spend it, either way, you're gonna eat. Everybody eats, right? So it's not like you're not gonna eat. Like you're not gonna eat. You're gonna eat every single day. So if you spend like $10 on like going out on whatever you buy, you can do it on Uber and Grubhub, and you just justify the annual fee. Literally, all you're doing is just paying $10 just to have the account, which is literally a no-brainer, and you're accumulating points, right? So when you do eventually go for the platinum card on the American Express, you already have access to a travel portal. You already accumulated points because of the sign-up bonus, and you accumulated points because you're always buying groceries, you're always eating. So it's more like a food card, but if you have a car, this is really good for gas as well. And they have a pre-qualify tool, so to see if you pre-qualify or not. And on the Chase, you have 3x back on the restaurants, food delivery, 2x on travel, 1x on everything else. Now, it does have an annual fee, like I mentioned, but it gives you access to the travel portal so you can move points over to the transfer partners. Let's say, for some reason you don't want the card no more. You got it, but now like 2, 3 months later, like I don't think this is the card for me. Do not close the card. There's a better alternative. So basically, what you can do is downgrade to the Chase Sapphire, which is actual card, or one of the Freedom cards. You can downgrade from an annual fee card to no annual fee card, and you'll keep the limit. Like you'll keep the account and everything, just a different card. And it also has a pre-qualified tool as well to see if you can get approved or not, whatever your options are uh, for that time. And now for the bill. Definitely, it's a tier 1 bank. That's what it's underwritten with Wells Fargo, 3x on dining, 2x on travel, 1x on everything else. This has no annual fee and is really good for rent. So if you pay rent with your card, obviously you get charged with like fees and all that stuff. This one, you get charged with no fees. And rent is like the biggest purchase out of everything, like you're like living, right? Besides food and like other bills and stuff, rent is the big like the main expense, and you get a lot of points because of that. And during like I think it's like the first of every month, they be running like some good promos, and you take advantage of that, removing specific amount of points from bill over to transfer partners, and you can start your own travel from there. And then Apple Card, you have no annual or late or forging transaction fees, and some MasterCard global payment network. So basically, you can get accepted anywhere because American Express is something that doesn't get accepted everywhere. Visa is something that gets accepted everywhere, and MasterCard. So these are like the two common ones in the bill too. So it's with the MasterCard network. So these are cards that can get accepted almost anywhere. And the rewards you accumulate, so the cash back you accumulate with Apple, you can earn interest because you can open the savings account with Apple, which I believe I forgot what's the rate on that, but it's pretty decent. So yeah, so you can definitely do that, and you can do the Apple no inquiry hack. So that's pretty crucial. Now, why these cards? You guys might ask. Like I mentioned, these are tier 1 and 2 banks. They're high quality accounts, so they're quality. They're not like BS. They're good cards, good accounts, I should say. The points ecosystem, so you have Chase, which runs the ultimate reward points. You have Amex, which does the membership reward points, because Chase can do what Amex can do, and Amex can do what Chase can do, and vice versa, right? So it's really good ecosystem. Oh, and you have Built too as well. And then Amex Gold and Chase Sapphire Preferred have pre-qualified tools to safely test the waters before applying. So it's not like you're just gonna go just straight at it. You get to see, okay, you're gonna get approved or not. If you don't get approved, no harm, no foul. So it's just like it really shows you whether you're gonna get approved or not. So it just makes sense. Bill is really good for rent day. And then Apple Card is literally a free card. Just run up the Apple hack that I mentioned before. And these are people cards. So, just cards that make sense to keep in general. And so ideally by this time you should have like 6 credit cards. And from this point on, just let your accounts age. Just be responsible, pay on time in full every single time, use your cards properly, and like I mentioned, responsible. Request credit limit increases when you can every 90 days to obtain higher limits to maintain a low utilization. And to just show good comparable credit, and it's gonna really help you guys when it comes to like acquiring auto loans for car that you want to get or mortgages, all that stuff, and add some installment accounts. You can get access to Navy Federal and Pledge Loan Hack, literally easy, like easy right there. And use Credit Strong, the CS Max product. It's not necessary if you can get this, but other than that, you can definitely get this, and it's a good credit mix. Now, several approval tips, because perhaps you might get denied, or like some like pending thing shows up on your application. So before all, you definitely want to data mine with banks via checking account, visit checking accounts, and or getting added as an authorized user or onto employee cards, because that's very crucial. You want to build trust. Like I said, how do you build a relationship? You build trust. So that's what we're doing with the banks, right? And then you want to, when it comes to filling out the application form, even if you're a student, state that you're full-time employed. Why? Because banks want to see that you're making money or you have some money coming in. If they see you're a student, bro, most of these students are not responsible. They don't give a fuck about what they're doing besides going to school, and they didn't even learn like jack stuff. So it's like state that you're a full-time employee. Just state that you're having some money coming in so you can help yourself get approved, and reconsideration line. So if you get denied or the application is pending, I'll call them up and say what's up. Talk to them and see what you guys can work out and turn that denial to approval. And something that I learned is hookah. So it's basically hang up and call again. So if one rep said no, call up, hang up and call again. They said no, hang up and call again. Try and try and try. The more times you try, eventually someone's gonna help you and be very generous. Sometimes these reps are not nice, and sometimes they're really good. Don't get me wrong. Especially the Spanish line, they're very generous. Spanish people, in general, I'd say are very generous. But just that's an opinion. So you can definitely do that, and always use pre-qualified tools when possible. And remember your stated income and rent, because if you do not remember this can be like the little tiniest thing that can affect your approval. And remember to put the same exact info on the application, such as the same way you enter your name, your address, because this is a crazy story. I saw this where a buddy of mine, he was going for an application and he typed in his address, but the thing was like in New York, you have Queens and Flushing. Flushing is in Queens, but Flushing is like a neighborhood. Queens is like the entire borough. And in the entire time he always put Flushing, and all of a sudden he put Queens, which is the entire borough. Now it's literally the same area, but Flushing is like the neighborhood, like the little thing, and then Queens is like the entire neighbor, like the entire borough. So, like I guess you could say like the entire state within the state, if that makes sense. Well, because he did that, that literally turned his application to a denial. But like once we called in and we just fixed that, it's just like, bro, it's just literally that simple thing that you just messed up, that now we had to call and do all this extra stuff. So just remember that kind of information. Make sure to put it down in a notebook or on your phone or something. Just keep it somewhere. Just remember that information, because that's going to come in clutch. Now, looking for the best credit card bonus link, this is a website called uscreditcardguy.com. Definitely just a literally good website. What you can do for looking for the highest bonus is try looking for the card you're going for on the bank's website, and then look up the same exact card but using the incognito mode. So during the time I was applying for the Amex Gold card, I went onto the Amex website and they were offering 60K. I know during that time they were not doing 60K, because I saw in this website that the highest at the moment was 90K. So I was, looking into how can I get it, where should I get it. So then the same card that I looked for, you can even see the dates and the time. I think you can see it. I think it was like 28th to 25th, but literally at the same time, like probably a minute, like difference or something, but it's literally the same time that I get this. So I looked it up in incognito mode, and look, it shows up 90,000 membership points. So that's 30,000 more than what the on the website without the incognito mode shows. So it's like, bro, I'm definitely going for this one. I did it, I got approved, thankfully, and that's it. Now, another thing you could do is find someone who has a referral link. Now, usually it may or may not have the highest sign-up bonus, but it's just I guess you could say an appreciation or help time because when you get approved, they get their incentives, which is like membership rewards or cashback, but usually in this case would be membership rewards. I think it's like 10,000 membership reward points. And you definitely do that. Or you could do like call the banks for any promo that's going on and see probably there's something that they are offering you that they're not offering to the public, which usually they do because why are they gonna openly say, oh, we're running this kind of promo because then everybody's gonna go in, right? But if you call in, you might find something, it's like, the more you fuck around, the more you find out, right? So it's literally something. And then, like I said, look at uscreditcardguy.com. It's really a hidden gem. It shows the pros and cons of the cards and annual fees, what's the highest sign-up bonus, links. Like, it literally shows everything. I'll definitely say go ahead and play around with this website. You might find something that you might like. Now we're moving towards the end. This is basically earning points without credit cards, or in this case, earning miles. So there's certain partnerships that you guys may not know. So if you're like a Starbucks fan or like girls are Starbucks fan, have them open a Delta account too. Like sign up and create one, and every purchase you make at Starbucks, you also get Delta Sky Miles, and also as well with Lyft. So if you like Lyft and you ride with Lyft, then link those accounts, and then every Lyft ride you take, you get a Delta Sky Miles, and same thing with Uber and Aeroplan. Every Uber ride you take or Uber Eats, you get Airplane Miles, which comes in clutch. Now, there's also shopping portals. So if you're a heavy shopper, and then you have Rakuten, which gives you cash back. And these portals can give you an opportunity to earn like 10 to 20x extra points per dollar on some purchases because on Rakuten, you can actually earn MR points, like the actual American Express points, rather than the cash back. But you have to opt in. And the thing here, I guess a little hidden thing, the little words on this would be like you need to have an American Express card that earns membership rewards. If you don't have one and you only have one that earns cashback, it's not gonna work. So definitely have like the Amex Gold card and link it and everything and opt in. Now instead of earning cashback, you're actually earning points. So that's something crucial. Now same thing with similar to Rakuten, you have the American Airlines e-shopping portal. You can literally spend your way to status and rack up your points. I know certain people like in the e-com space, like I know people that are successful in the e-com space. They usually do their shopping on like these portals. So besides them making their own profits, because they're gonna resell on Amazon, FBA, FBM, and on top of whatever cashback they're making, whatever points they're making, they're also like gaining like extra points or miles in this case. And with American Airlines, the more you spend, the basically you unlock your way to status. And status is where like, just in life, if you have high status, people will treat you differently than if you have low status in the world, right? So it's just a simple thing. So you can literally rack up your points too as well, and you get status, so you can get free upgrades and all that stuff, which is pretty dope. So yeah, so now we're coming to the end. Dropping weekly gems and credit update. I have a Telegram chat that I don't know if you guys are into, but if you guys not, you guys can shoot me a DM. I'll send a link, and yeah, I'll be dropping like information. I've been slacking on weekly gems to be honest, but doing presentation like this one, I'm gonna drop it in there too as well, so people can educate themselves and help themselves because it's information that people don't know, right? Now, I have this thing called the credit assessment. So this is where I personally take a look over your credit report and inform me of what moves you can make. And I look at this situation as if it's me, like if I'm in your shoes, right? Like what would I do from this point on? So basically, we'll leave a copy of your credit report and then we'll put it on the doc and see what accounts you have. And then I'll see what moves you can make. Like let's say you have a Chase card, you haven't even requested a credit limit increase, and the day open, it can be like, hey bro, request a credit limit increase. Now your account went from 6,000 to like now 7,200 or something. And at the end of the day, these are literally moves you can take and do for yourselves. And, you can potentially increase your score, your limits, and all that stuff. So, you can just help yourself. Now, oh, I don't know why this is. But yeah, you guys can feel free and reach out. at my personal page, Sell Stacks, and my other page, Stackz N Credit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody. If you guys have any questions, it's your time to shine. Just a Q&A. Oh, you guys can feel free to unmute yourself too. So, or you guys can type it in the chat. Any questions you guys have? Mm, questions. How do I go about getting the credit assessment? Okay, yeah, you can shoot me a text, bro, for the credit assessment. So you can shoot me a text and then we can go from there and I can help you. What are the best travel cards in your opinion? Shoot. So definitely the Ranch X. Now the thing is, like, since they pull from the three boroughs, it's either the personal or the business side. But I'll definitely say I'll just go with business. Although they're gonna pull and they're gonna show the utilization either way, so it's just might as well. But because the annual fee justifies itself, in actuality, I think they're actually paying you $40 to keep the card if you use the annual fee. That's if you're like a good, like a heavy traveler, like a good 3 or 4 flights, I guess you would say. But it's something that would be really good. So the Venture X, now that followed by I'd probably say like the Chase card, like the Sapphire Preferred, the Reserve, not really. Then the Amex would be like the third one on my list on the business side. Now on the personal side, it's good, but if you're gonna use all the credits, but on the business side, I would say definitely would be good. Now, are you familiar with CPNs, bro? CPNs is not it, bro. I'm telling you, not it. That's literally some illegal stuff right there. CPNs, hell no. Because basically you're just grabbing other people's like information and people run up like those kind of like SSNs and stuff. And then, you're just acquiring stuff that you can acquire with credit, but you're acquiring with another person's information. So yeah, major red flag. Yeah, definitely don't want to fuck with that because you can get yourself in serious situation. And yeah, your freedom is too valuable to put yourself in that hole. So definitely not that. Yeah, CPNs, hell no. Scammers do that. It's no need. You're not a scammer, bro. No need to do that. Do this shit the right way. But yeah, yeah. Any other questions? What can I do if I don't get accepted for any credit cards? I got one right now, but I tried AMX, but they rejected. What card do you have right now? And have you tried calling the reconsideration line? Because you can call them and be like, hey, I mean, I don't know how long you went for the card for, but if it's recently, you can call in, be like, hey, how are you doing? You can humanize them. Oh, you're doing well. Okay, great. I'm doing great too as well. Thank you for asking. I was just wondering, what's the reason I got rejected for this application? Because this is something I'm really looking forward and build a relationship with you guys. I like the perks and benefits, and just do a little bit of research for like the benefits that they have, so they know that you did your research in a sense, and that you're aware of what kind of benefits they have the product. So then when you go and call them, you can hit them with that kind of information. So yeah, but if you haven't data mine with them, bro. Get added as an authorized user or open a high yield savings account. If you have a business, open a business checking account, mm, employee cards. So definitely do that. I got a Capital One CC. I've only just found out about the reconciliation, which is a gem. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. People don't know that stuff. That's freaking crazy, bro. That's really simple thing, bro. And bro, people charge for that. It's crazy. That's where like I don't know if you've seen gurus talking about like I can turn your denial to approve, and they charge people for that stuff, bro. That's fucking crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, you have Capital One. Capital One pulled from '03. So I don't know if you have any other account, meaning like if you have an installment account, but I'm assuming they only have Capital One. So you're 4 out of 5 for Chase. So if you go ahead and get a Chase card, you can definitely do that. And now if you want to go for a Chase card, this is another like hidden gem. I think it's called the Chase Slate card. I posted this a while back in the Telegram. So basically, you can get an automatic approval. And how you do that is just by opening a checking account with them, put it like $200 or something like that, and then just let it chill for like a month or two, and then go for the card and you get automatic approval. Like it's fucking crazy, bro. And you can upgrade. You can always upgrade. So from the Slate, you can upgrade to the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited, which people don't even know. And this is the thing because people think about, damn, I don't use this card. Let me cancel it. No, bro, don't cancel it. If you can find alternatives like upgrading, downgrading your card, or it has an annual fee and you just want to justify it, you can always call their the hotline or their customer service, and do what's called a retention offer. So basically, this is what I'm gonna do on the platinum card because that's a 695. I feel like I could pay that shit, like, not a problem. But it's like if I can get points, then might as well, and not and like pay less. So basically, her retention offer is basically he's like you're telling them that you're gonna close it, but you're not gonna tell them you're gonna close it. You're just thinking that you're gonna close it, right? And just to see if they can give you some like points or some, or they can lower down your annual fee. Because there's cases where they lower their annual fee, or they tell them, okay, look, we can do something for you. If you spend $3,000 within the next 3 months, we'll offer you 20,000 points. Like, okay, I'll take that. Like, I'll get incentivized to pay you for you to pay me. If that makes sense. So I'll definitely do that. Appreciate it. And what's the best way to remove collections? Damn, remove collections. Well, depending on kind of like, I mean, there's collections, right? But like the amount, was it closed by you? Was it closed by the lender itself? Like, what's the case, right? But I feel like the best way is go through credit repair. Find someone that actually doesn't have the results. Because, bro, there's a lot of foo in this freaking credit space. It's fucking crazy. I only mess with a few people that actually know their stuff and all that good stuff. But like, there's a lot of people that tell you, "Oh, I can remove your stuff in the next 30 days." Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Because not everybody's situation is the same. Because maybe your situation is only to remove collections, but the other guy right here has collections, bankruptcy, child support, late payments. Like that guy's gonna take a while. Like, well, me and myself, I have a partnership with someone that does credit repair. But basically, what I'm doing is like I'm bringing clients and stuff like that. And I basically break down the process how it is because credit repair was something that I started off with, but it's not something I actually pursue because there's a lot of information you got to go through. But I already got my buddy who's taking care of my guy who has about like 7 collections. He's not here, but his name is Oscar. But he has like 7 collections, like so much like that he owes, and we had to remove that. So it's just like a pain in the ass. And his scores are like way under 600, so it's just crazy. But yeah, so it's definitely credit repair, bro. Major Nuggets here. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, no, I appreciate you for tuning in, bro. Like this is like it's been like a little over an hour, bro. And hope you gain some value, bro. If you guys want, you guys, screenshot this, tag me in your stories and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy, bro. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for like coming in. It's only like few of y'all. Like everybody was like, "Oh, save me a spot, save me a spot." Like, okay, like yeah, I can save you a spot, but are you gonna show up? Are you gonna show up for yourself? Because at the end of the day, bro, I know this information. I paid for this information. This is barely what I know. Like, bro, I spent like a little over $9,000 in information. This is, I don't know, you guys seen the iceberg? Where it's like you see the iceberg, like, like the success post, like where you see money, cars, Lambos, all that stuff, what it took, sacrifice, divorce, heartbreaks, the family dying, and stuff like that. This is like literally what you see, like the tip of the iceberg. But what's under it is like, okay, bank rules, what to say to the reps, what numbers to put on the application, when to go for certain cards, when they're signing the bonus, how to hit the sign up bonus, MS, um, what you call it, how to liquidate 0% cards. That's something that people don't even know. Like you can take out cash from 0% on cards. Like there's ways, there's methods, and you could do that. Now you can have the physical cash in your hand, not in the card. You have in cash, and this is what most people do when it comes to like buying properties. They take out the cash of the card and they put it down on the property, or they do other stuff, like whatever business venture that they go through, right? But there's so many stuff. Like the list goes on, bro. I feel like that would be like a whole different other call that I would talk about. But on that kind of information, I would definitely have to charge because that's valuable information. It's very valuable. But yeah, no. But yeah, appreciate you, bro. Man. Appreciate you for real. But yeah, any other questions? Anything else? Any concerns or observations? Feel free. If not, we'll end it right here. It's no problem. Mm, any other questions? Feel free. Let's see. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna end it from here. I'm gonna head out. I'm trying to get some food. got a car ready, but the road. Yeah. Right, I guess no other questions from that. All right. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. Hope you guys learning some valuable information. Feel free to reach out, and yeah, I'll have this recording ready by perhaps sometime this week, and then post it in the Telegram chat. Probably might do like a hidden link type of thing, but yeah, I probably might do that or something like that. I don't know because there's some people that really miss this and they're hitting me up right now. Oh well, too bad, but you know. But yeah, but all right, everybody, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.